And the thing that motivated me was really sailing and getting around the world. And there was a whole plethora of events that built up to me leaving my safety of my homeland in Oakland at the time and jumping out into the world. And you sit in a place for a long time, in my case 30 years, even more maybe. The last time that I had really traveled where I changed my life was right after college. And I made a very cognizant decision when I was 24 to not get a job with an engineering company or my father's company, who was also a contractor. He wanted me to work with him, or start my own gig, because I just gotten my degree in engineering and business. And I elected to buy a one-way ticket to Hong Kong, which led me into Southeast Asia and Australia and New Zealand. I was gone for about 3 years, and I wanted to see the world. And I did. I saw a lot of it. I saw that chunk of it. And I made a decision at that moment to promise myself that I would come back and live this life again. Hopefully, I wanted to have a family and take them with me and share that experience. I did, in fact, go back to California. I got married. It took me I got back when I was 26, going on 27. By the time I was 29, I was engaged. I got married in 1993, which would put me at about 31 years old. And by 33, I had my first kid. And then I had one every 2 years after that. So I ended up with 3 kids. And that was in 95, 97, and 99. And then by 2000, when the kids were still young enough to take with you, shall we say, easily, because they don't complain about going where you take them when they're that age, before they're 12. For better or worse, you're totally responsible for every move they make. And when I'd gotten married, my ex-wife now made me a hard promise that she would go sailing with me and traveling with me at some point. And that point arrived when I was about 40 years old. It was about 2002. And by 2004, I was 42, and I was like, okay, we really have to go now because the kids will get too big. And then through a whole bunch of arguments and disagreements, she decided she didn't want to go. And she was too comfortable in the safety of her existing home and life. And I was, of course, very disappointed and sad. And I was frustrated. And I'd made plenty of money in order to retire at that point. And so we ended up making a compromise through a lot of concessions. And we moved to Central California instead of Northern California. And I built out this huge ranch. And that was all very fun and nice and lovely. It was at this, you can look it up if anybody's interested. It's 1331 Tiffany Ranch Road in San Luis Obispo. It was a place called Edna Valley, Edna, Edna Valley. This beautiful, bucolic valley full of vineyards and rolling hills, and just gorgeous. It's like dropped out of a postcard. And I bought 10 acres right in the middle of that, and I built out this amazing ranch, and I raised my kids there, and we had horses and animals, and I built a house manufacturing machine. I patented the software and hardware, and really got into life there. And that was a compromise instead of going sailing and taking off. So it was sort of an adventure without the fear of leaving the safety of all the people you know and the things that you've accumulated. And that was the compromise that I reached with my wife at the time.